Hey guys, you may have heard that the Kingston housing market is booming right now. Well, you're not wrong. I'm Peggy Cruickshank from RE/MAX Finest Realty in Kingston. If you're thinking about listing your property, it's not a bad thing to consider, but there are a couple points I want to speak to you on today to help you make this important decision. The first thing you should do is go and see your lender. You want to ask them if you're going to be facing any additional fees for altering your existing mortgage. As well, it's a good time to discuss whether you'll be in a position to offer on a home without having your own home firmly sold. If you can do this, it's going to give you a lot more flexibility in terms of negotiating closing dates and probably the price band that you're going to go shopping in as well. Now also realize that because it's a seller's market and it's very unbalanced, you're going to be facing the same dilemma current buyers are, and that is there's a lack of inventory. So where are you going to move? You may think, I'll just rent. But the problem with that right now is Kingston is also facing its lowest vacancy rate ever in terms of rentals. So whether you rent or whether you buy, it's not as black and white as it has been in the past, and you may need a little bit of help. There's a definite sequence in decisions, and you should know about them to arrive at your optimum outcome. I'd suggest that you align yourself with an agent that you can trust and that you have full confidence is going to help you get through this process fairly quickly and as pain-free as possible. Now you can opt to do this on your own, but for reasons I've already mentioned, you have to be fully prepared and fully educated, or what may seem like a great opportunity to save some money and maybe even a little fun can quickly turn out to be a long and drawn out process, frustrating, and in the end you don't save any money at all. Now whether you find an agent on your own or you're referred to an agent, the fact of the matter is there's just under 600 agents in Kingston. But I really can't think of any asset that you're going to own in your lifetime as valuable as a home. So it's really worth taking time to find that person that you can work with. When you do, you're going to sit down and have a discussion about how they're going to get your home on the market, all of the things that they're going to do. And you really need to be clear on the process itself. The thing about these discussions is that several items are going to come up. One of them is pricing. Now, pricing is a fairly academic exercise, to be honest. And I could argue that if you lined up 100 agents and asked them to price your home, in theory, they should all come in at a fairly similar price point. And the reason for that is we all have access to the same market data. So if we do our homework correctly, there shouldn't be a huge variation. Now, if you're finding that there are variations in price, I'd encourage you to dive a little deeper and find out what is motivating that agent, find out what they're going to be doing that's different. Where the differentiation lies with agents, it's going to be in the level of service that they offer you. So I'm talking about things like ability to communicate effectively, and that means effectively with you, with buyers' agents, follow up all visits to give you the feedback, their ability to negotiate for you and on your behalf and always have your best interest at heart, their ability to market, and now we have all these different platforms to market on. You might want to check out their social media presence. If they can't market themselves, they may have a hard time marketing your own property. In the end, these are things that are going to separate who you elect to work with. In that meeting, you will want to discuss their strategies, because there are strategies for going to market, and each one is going to lend itself to a certain situation. For example, do you want to list your home in a traditional fashion where you take offers as they come? Or do you want to do what people are doing lately, which is list the property, give it a bit of time, and then review all of your options all at one time? Are you going to discuss bully offers, because they're a thing lately? Are you going to talk about taking a backup offer? These are really important things, and each one of these topics has some underlying issues that you need to know about before you make a decision to use one or the other. So the old adage, you get what you pay for, is very true in real estate as well. Pick an agent that you have confidence in, and you'll get through this process successfully. Now, the next part of this is really the sweat equity and the grunt work that it takes to get your house on the market. And I guess I could compare it to you selling a car. If you were going to sell your car, you'd polish it up, you'd fix all the items that need addressing. It's the same with your house. You want it to look as good as it possibly can. So the key here is not to rush to market. Get it right the first time. You've got one opportunity to make it look good for buyers when they come to see it, get it photographed professionally, and you don't want to miss out on that by rushing to market. So fix the items that need addressing. You might even want to bring in an inspector. It's a little bit of money up front, but that inspector is going to red flag the items that a buyer's representative will red flag when they do their home inspection. And if you can preempt these problems, you're going to have a stress-free conditional period. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is that you may have become immune to pets, the odors that pets have, the hair in the house, cooking or smoking. But I can tell you one thing, buyers won't be. So if you do smoke or you do cook or you do have a pet, take the time to address that before you list your house on the market. I've walked into listings and it's been the difference between a buyer making an offer and not making an offer. Sometimes we refer to it as a $10,000 mistake. You don't want to make that mistake. Now, the thing about listing your property is every day that you leave, you've got to know that your house has to look like $1 million, because this isn't the time to be in customer prevention. You want to be able to say yes to anyone who requests a viewing, and so you've got to take that time. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. After the viewings, make sure that you talk to your agent about the feedback. And the reason why you want to do this is you want to see if there's a common denominator. If there's feedback that's reoccurring and it's negative, address it right away and address it quickly so that you don't encounter it again. The last thing I'll leave you with is negotiations. You have to be ready to negotiate. And I know that may seem self-evident, but when you set a price, if you just keep that one price in mind and it's not coming, you're going to get frustrated. I can tell you this, your first offer is normally your best. And notice I didn't say your first offer. Offerer, that's the person making the offer. Now, there's a reason for this, and that is because this person has been waiting for a property like yours. In fact, they've probably seen 20 in this market. They may have offered on a couple. They've seen their lender, they're motivated, they're genuine. So the offer may not be the best offer, but I encourage you to negotiate that, because the thing that is a kiss of death for people listing their homes is days on market. The longer your home stays on the market, the less of a position of strength you're in negotiations. And the first 2 weeks, they're the most critical. I'm Peggy Cruickshank from RE/MAX Finest Realty, and if you found this content useful, please give it a like, and I invite you to give me any feedback. I always appreciate that. And please check out my Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages. And for sure, if you have any questions, give me a call.